Welcome back my YouTube channel. Let's learn English with Khushi. Today we are going to read this book Truth Without Apology by Acharya Prasant, chapter 121. Uh, the third woman. True feminism begins when a woman is liberated from the physical and social compulsion to take her body as her primary identity. First, there was the woman saved by a patriarchy feeding on biology, raised to be a pleasing compliance decorated dignity. She was taught her worth lay in her body, in her ability to gratify expectations. Then came the second woman, the rebel. She was furious at the power and pride of man, but in her rebellion, she ended up becoming their reflection. She wore like men, she smoked like men, she talked like men, she chased success like men, and she reminded her became just as a restless, unconscious as men. So, what really changed? The slave became a mirror of the master. The reaction became a repetition. The rebellion became a mimicry. But there is a third woman, possibly. She is not an imitation. She is not a reaction. She is not defined by what she opposes or what she copies. She is a human being. She is a consciousness first and only much later a body. She watches her impulses without glorifying them. Sees her pattern without being enslaved. She does not identify, she does not submit, she witnesses her aim is not equality with men, her aim is liberation, her goal is not to seize power but to discover truth. She does not exist to remain a prisoner of biology or culture. She exists to let her consciousness express its highest potentially. This is the woman the world desperately needs, not the woman of tradition, not the woman of reaction, but the woman of realizations. Much of this world's confusion, violence, and sorrow will begin to heal the day more women discover this third possibility. Now, chapter 122, the industrial of incompleteness. The usual motivation is nothing but the illusion of adequacy fueled by a society that convinces you are missing something initially. You have been told you are incomplete, so you chase degrees, promotions, partners, positions, trying to fill a void that may never have existed in the first place. Motivation thrives on fear, on comparison, on shame. How else will they sell you their curse, their screams, their dreams, if they don't first make you feel broken? They make you feel broken, then sell their fixes. That's a not motivation. That's a manipulation. At the root of the word motivation is motive. And what is a motive? I want something I don't have, which means I am not enough. That is the lie. That is the poison from every corner. Family, media, culture, religious. You are told. Look at uncle's son. You are useless without a man. No child, you are bearing only one. Have two bedroom flat. M for a villa. Then you will be completed. This is not love. This is not care. This is corruption. This is a violence. They first convince you that you are inadequate. Once you have bought that, then they can sell you anything. They first sell you the disease, then they sell you the desire to heal. Is that not what most of our desires are? An attempt to remedy a problem that may not exist in the first place. So, your ambitions, your motivations, your goals, they don't arise from understanding. They are born from fear, from a wound that was planted in you from a sense of lack that was never yours to begin with. And so you keep running, not toward something real but away from yourself. Motivation is not a sign of strength, it is the noise of a mind that doesn't know itself. It is the desperations of someone trying to become because they have forgotten they already are. Real action does not come from motivation, it comes from clarity, from inwardness, from seeing that there is nothing wrong with you. You don't need motivation, you need liberations. Now, chapter 123, the emotional engine of climate collapse. Our primitive instinct arise from the center of the jungle, and they end up destroying the jungle. A climate of wisdom inside is the only way to restore the climate outside. When we don't operate from a center of wisdom, we operate from a center of blind emotion, and these emotions, as strange as it may sound, are fueling climate change. One is so emotional about that next foreign holiday that longing itself is a carbon. Every climate report shows this. Tourism and aviations are massive contributors to invasions. One feelings emotional about having a beautiful, secure nest of his own. That too is a carbon. Deforestation, urbanization, cement stick still, our ancient cravings demand them all. One feelings emotional about raising a picture perfect family with two lovely kids. That too is emotional, and that too is a carbon. The fundamental driver of the ecology crisis is the under, under, unrestrained rise in the human populations, rooted in unchecked desire. Look closely. Every time we surrounded to emotion in some direct or indirect way, we become a carbon imitator. Don't the seller arouse our emotions to make us binge on shopping? When your vision is clouded by feeling, it becomes easier to make you spend senseless and celebrate it mindlessly. We demand constant emotional stimulations. All of it adds to the burden on the planet. It's astonishing that so many who loudly claim to care about the environment refuse to see that the climate crisis is at its core a crisis of unexamined emotionalities. Emotions left unchecked are the hunger that will devour this earth. And the antidote is wisdom. Wisdom is nothing but the honest understanding of the self and its restless impulses. Wisdom alone can look into the roots of our greed and fear, our need to consume and possess. Wait, are we talking about killing emotion here? No, we are talking about the light of wisdom that purifies emotion from the center of clarity. Emotion is not merely beautiful, it is scared. Right emotion arises from the right center of being. That inner individual illuminated center alone can save the planet, not just go- governmental policy or green technology. Now, chapter 124. Parents, first raise yourself. To really raise a child, you must first raise yourself. Take care of yourself truly, deeply, and you have already taken care of your child. When a child lives with a radiant mother or radiant father, their fears are dissolved without lessons being taught. Your presence teaches more than your words ever can. Your first duty is not to fix the child, it is to awaken yourself, because if your mind is wounded, conflicted, and dark, then that is all you will pass on. You may pretend to be loving, but your unconsciously will seep through every touch, every glance, every word unspoken. Yet this is the strange irony of parenting. We cling to our darkness and still dream of gifting light to our children. We remain unhealed and still hope to be healers. That is not parenting, that is a delusion. You cannot give what you do not have. You cannot teach what you do not live. You cannot guide from confusions and fear, and that is why parents across generations have failed. They want their children to be free, but they themselves live in bondage. They want their children to be joyful while they carry a face carved by sorrow. They want their children to be conscious but haven't taken a single step toward consciousness themselves. You cannot hand over light when your own hands are full of shadow. So, if you truly love your child, stop obsessing over their future. Begin with your own inner revolutions. Raise your awareness, raise your integrity, raise your life. Because only when the parents rise does the child get wings, and then without effort, your very being becomes a sanitary. Your silence becomes the scriptures. Your life becomes their greatest blessing. Don't raise your child from habit. Raise them from awaking, and for that you must awaken first. Chapter 125, The Holy Eight Step Suicide. Walking down the same beaten lane, how will you ever come to a new destination? You are not lost, you are on a highway, smooth, polished, well lit, and that's a problem. We are all treading the same a certified path. Be born, get educated, get a job, get married, buy a house, buy a car, raise kids, argue with your spouse, maybe divorce, maybe remarry, grow old, die. The whole eight-step process to that, a conveyor's belt dressed up as life, and the tragedy most of us are already halfway through. Four steps done, four more to go, but we still live in denial. No, no, no. We insist my life is a different. Paradise is waiting for me. Such comforting delusions. We want to feel special. We want to believe that the same road which led billions into quiet frustrations and respectable despair. Will someone take us to bless same direction, same vehicle, same fuel, yet we imagine ourselves heading to a different destinations on what basis? You are not avoiding your path, you are just walking the default, and default has only one destination, unconscious conceptions. Shallow success, inner hollowness, and finally death without ever having lived. If you want a new destination, you must take a new path, and for that, you must first stop walking, stand still, ask, turn around. The beaten path doesn't take you forward, it beats you down. Chapter 126. Even wounds can smile. Pain is inevitable, but it can be seen with wisdom and hence transcendent. Welcome pain. You have no options. Pain will be recurring visitors. That is the very nature of life. Life is a suffering because not only are we designed to have pain, we are also designed to resist pain. This resistance is the core of suffering. Don't resist pain when it comes, and have a lot of depth in your being, so much depth that it can take in all pain. If you resist pain, all you get is suffering. This suffering is not the pain itself, but the ego's futile rebellion against what is. If you embrace pain, then there is a silent power. You see that you can take it all, that you are strong beyond the vagaries of circumstances. If you can smile through tears, and in tears, what a beautiful smile you have. A smile not of gratification but to realizations. Even once can smile, suffering is always a choice. Now, chapter 127. Stop collecting wounds. Nobody can bring inner harm to you without your consent. Yes, people and situation can hurt you, but the harm they do is almost always small compared to the damage inflict on yourself by clutching it to your chest, by internalizing it, by turning it into part of your identity. External harm remains on the periphery. It knocks, it scratches, it tries to enter, but unless you allow it, it can't touch your core. If you are living rightly, nothing can preach your center. Your essence stays untouched. It's a vital to keep hurt in its place, and that place is never your hurt, never your scared interiors. Let it stay outside, let it pass through. Don't invite it in. If something stinky happens to you, what do? You wash it off and move on. You don't bottle the stink and carry it around like some precious belonging. Yet that's what most people do with emotional wounds. If someone cheats you, it doesn't smell of rose, it reeks. Why this strange indulgence in preserving the stink? Why decorated yourself with the memory of betrayal? Why turn pain into a personal artifact? Drop it, walk on. Life is not a museum of all wounds. It is not a gallery of grievance. It deserves your freshness. It demands your clarity. Let the past rot where it belongs. Don't carry it into the scared space of your presence. Now, chapter 128. All is well until it isn't it. If your sense of wellness depends on something outside you, it isn't it wellness, it's insecurity. Isn't it shallow wellness, just hidden pain waiting to show up? You must have noticed some people who are always sulking, and then there are others who wear a constant smile and speak in that soft, sunny voice. Ask them how life is, and they quickly respond, all is well. Real wellness is a precious, but fake wellness is just a self deceptions. It is the opposite of real wellness. Many confidently say everything is perfect fine. They aren't lying. It's just that their sense of well-being is shallow. Yes, there is happiness, but only on the surface. Scratch it a little and it disappears. A small setback arrives and their calmness, collapse, cheerfulness vanish, worry and sadness take over. If your wellness had real depth, would your mind break down so easily? Ironically, these are the people who say, I don't need wisdom, I don't need spirituality, I am already fine. But they are the most prone to anxiety, depressions, and mental disorder. Real happiness is a wonderful, be truly happy, joyful, alive. Even doctors will agree. Vedanta says, Nirmaya Aham, wellness is my true nature. But for that real wellness to emerge, you must do something radical. You must stop being the same person you used to be. Only then can you rise above your past. Now, chapter 129. The past is the present. If you don't learn from your past, it won't stay behind you. It will disguise itself as your future. The sorrow of the past is not something to blind, discard, or erase. People will urge you to forget, let go, they say, live only in the present. But that is not wisdom. That is the escapisms and dressed as a freedoms. If you want to truly live now, you must know what masquerades as the now. The present is not the present, it is the past in a new mask. If the past dominates the present, then the present must be freed. By confronting the past, one never just drifts past the past. Conscious effort is needed. Go back to the forest where your footsteps were left behind. The paths you once took, they are still alive and they have grown on you. Listen to what they are still whispering. Don't pretend you have outgrown their language. The present is nothing but a shadow cast by the fires of yesterday, and tomorrow will carry the same mark unless you intervene. To change your course, you must unclench, let go of the rust anchors you have mistaken for identity. You cannot dance with grace while still tangled in yesterday's Notes, you can't sing of liberations while hiding silent shame. What do you not understand will continue to rule you. What you don't face will keep following you. To learn is to unlock, not by feeling, but by cleaning the wounds instead of covering it. It is to meet yourself honestly, not dramatically. Understanding does not just free you from what happened, it frees you from who you thought you were because of it. Now, chapter 130. Stop choosing misery. The world will appear to provoke you, control you, and seek you. If you are deeply rooted in wisdom, you remain untouched. Stress is a fact of life. The body and mind have evolved in a field of tension. They are built to experience stress at least in doses, but you must know yourself as something prior to the body and the mind. The real self must stand unshaken even as the storms pass through. In your natural state you must love joy so fiercely that you simply refuse to let stress breach your inner sanctuaries. When stress begins to violate your interests interest joy, it should feel like being torn from the one you love most. You must have the strength in to say no, this is not acceptable. I will not serve this. You must love yourself so deeply that supporting your own suffering feels like a betrayal. If you keep siding with your own misery, what else can ever come to you? Yeah, that's all in this video. Thank you so much.